Hey yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're giving you guys our first impressions of Monument of the End by Soreption. Alright guys, I know most of you are probably thinking, who the heck is this? What is this band they're talking about? And to be honest with you, we also have no idea. Now, we wanted to review an album today, but unfortunately the one we wanted to review had been delayed. So we decided we're gonna check it out and we're gonna see what other bands are releasing albums today. Now there was what, four bands?
Four bands.
Very obscure.
Yeah.
Never heard of any of these bands whatsoever. So we listened to the singles from each of these bands, and then based on the one we liked the most, we chose this one. So we were going into this. The song we heard was really good, actually.
Yeah, it's called The Anti-Present. It's the first track on the album, so when we get started, I guess, it'll be familiar to us, but it impressed both of us.
How would you describe the genre, the music genre?
It was like...
It was definitely like a death metal.
Technical death metal?
Technical death metal, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a lot of Cannibal Corpse type of vibes.
Like Cannibal Corpse, but a lot more complex.
Yeah, maybe like Cannibal Corpse crossed with like Dying Fetus, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
But it also had kind of a newer school, maybe deathcore kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, that too. It was interesting.
But yeah, we're gonna go listen to the album for the first time in its entirety, and like I said, we're taking a chance here. Based on the first song, it was good, but we're gonna see how it goes, and we'll be back in just a sec to give you our first impressions. Alright guys, we're back. We just listened to Monuments of the End by Soreption in its entirety, and we're gonna tell you what we think. PB Fish, what do you think?
This album, and you know, when we heard that single, we were both pretty excited for the album, and you know, it was the first track as well, but unfortunately for me, at least after hearing the album only once, this is a case of it starts great and then just trails right off. I felt that almost every song really gave you the same thing. Now these musicians I think are fantastic, by the way. They are very, very skilled. This is a very technical band. The drums, I enjoyed like how good this guy was. You know, I could hear every single bass drum note. There's a lot of bass drum, like there's a lot of double kick in every single song. And it's really, like this guy's really impressive. You know, his endurance is great. One issue I kind of felt with it is that like he's kind of filling too much space. I know it's technical death metal, but it's like every single song he's blaring with double kick. I'm like, you can leave a little bit of space. And he did in, I think, one of the songs.
There was a couple songs he broke it up a little bit, but
even
for
then,
the most part, it was just constant thunder.
Yeah, he was still throwing it out there, even in the parts where he did split it up. So it was iffy, and you know, this is. You could say this is a very consistent album because like every song kind of gave you the same thing. It got to the point where in my notes I kind of ran out of things to say because I'd be hearing, you know, a similar structure every song. I've been hearing the same kind of double bass every song. I've been hearing, you know, similar guitar solos. It wasn't like the same guitar solo every song. Like the first two songs, it was like a lot of notes and a lot of really fast stuff. And then the third song, it was a lot more melodic, which was nice. But even in general, like, it got to the point where I'm just sitting there thinking, like, what am I supposed to write? Because I can't really think of anything unique that's coming out of these songs. And I feel an issue with this album is that your first song is going to be your favorite. Because we heard The Anti-Present when we checked out the single, and we both liked it. But if we checked out any other song from this album as the first song, we probably would have liked that and then start being like, oh, well, every other song sounds like that one. I feel like that's kind of the pitfall. That being said, I mean, this would be an interesting album to shuffle. Like, I feel like you'd really have no, like...
I think you'd get lost very easily.
Well, I mean, everything kind of sounds the same anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
So you can shuffle it, it won't matter.
If you shuffle it, you're not going to know which song's which because it's at a random order. At least if you listen to it in order, you'd be like, okay, this song's here, this song's next. And you'll kind of know what order it comes in.
It just feels more like this album could be used as kind of like, I don't want to say, but like a background noise. I don't want to say like this is garbage. I just feel like it's not too memorable.
So I want to talk about one thing that you pointed out. You said that this album is very consistent. I think it is also very consistent, but I think it's consistent to a flaw.
Yeah,
I think it's consistent to a flaw in a sense that it's all like, let me just say, this is one of the tightest bands I've heard in a long time. These guys are so tight, so clean, so precise. Those are all very good things. But when that's all you hear, how many songs is there? 8 songs. The album's pretty short too, 33 minutes long. when that's all you hear for an entire 33-minute album, it starts to become boring. When I started to get to song, we got to song maybe 5, song 6, you know, about halfway through the album-ish, I was bored. I was like, I've heard this before, they're regurgitating everything, nothing sounds fresh, nothing sounds new. There's a couple spots in certain songs where the vocal style changed a little bit. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it, but it wasn't anything that made me go, oh wow, this song stands out, this song is actually different than the rest. It was small little parts. There's a couple little parts where like they emphasize the bass a little bit, but for the most part, you're hearing the thundering drums like Fish mentioned, and you're hearing not the same but very similar guitar rhythms and melodies over top of each song. The vocal styling doesn't change too much, it's pretty much stagnant through the whole album.
There's only like 1 or 2 moments where there was a little bit different singing.
Yeah.
But it was really like barely there.
Barely anything.
It was very consistent, as we mentioned.
Now there was one song number 4 had a slower, calmer, more tame guitar intro, and also had a slower, tame outro, but the rest of the song was basically tracks 1, 2, and 3 again. All in all, like I would say, like I like the music. I was digging it. I think it's good music. Like you said, these are very technical musicians. They're really highly skilled and they're extremely tight. But they just need to break it up more. That's what I felt. But with all that said, we do have to take into consideration that this is only our first listen, and sometimes with these very highly technical bands, it takes a few listens before you can start appreciating individuality in each song.
Yeah.
For me anyway. So maybe once we listen to this album throughout the week, we will start to appreciate it a little more and start to find little differences in each song, and you know, grow to enjoy the album and appreciate the album in a more diverse way, rather than it feeling like one big long 33-minute song.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it felt like.
In a way, it's just one of the kind of another issue I had, you know, you kind of touched upon it a bit, is that these guys had like a bag of tricks, like musical tricks, but I kept seeing it over and over. The syncopation, you know, going between duple and triple meter, back and forth, you know, having like a 1 bar of like 3/16 before you go to something else, or 3/8, whatever. Like I keep seeing these same tricks happen over and over, so the more I hear them, the more I think there's nothing new happening here. They're just kind of throwing the same pocket sand at you.
It's almost like they learned something and got really good at something, and then that's all they do. It's just rinse and repeat that structure over and over again.
But I mean, as you said, you know, once again, this is only our very first listen, and I feel, you know, with this album, I could see potential with the rhythm to really grow on us. I could see us, by the end of the week, perhaps, you know, pointing out, wow, they do this rhythmic thing in this song, but it's slightly different in this one, and that's how you can distinct them. But at the moment, I don't know if this album really has too much promise for me personally, but every album has potential no matter what to grow over an entire week of listening, which is exactly what we're going to be doing for an entire week, listening it non-stop. And next week we're going to come back with our final review of this album, Monument to the End by Soreption. So guys, remember to leave a comment, tell us what you think of this album, what you think of this band in the comments below. Like this video if you liked it. If you disliked it, just like the video please. And subscribe if you're new to the channel, because we always got metal content coming to you guys. I'm TV Fish.
And I'm Vile Self.
And we'll see you guys later.